fight her.
Oh, big right hand! One punch! That is it! Forget about the count. It is over!
Hi, I'm Susie from Women's Fight News, and today I'm joined by British boxer Stevi Levy, who is 2-0. So thank you very much for being here today, Stevie. And how are you?
My pleasure. I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. So basically, I wanted to ask you a bit more about yourself. So where do you train out of, and who's your trainer, who's your manager?
So I train at the Professional Boxing Centre in Norwich. Graham Everett is my manager and trainer. We have a few others that help out at the gym. I mean, John Faxton's a coach as well. He's in the corner when I fight. We have Stephen Potter, Matt Smith, Tony Norman, Darren Byrne, Dazzler Byrne. We've got a lot of people there. Obviously, Graham Everett, G-Man we call him. He's like the main man that we all listen to. But there's other people in the gym as well, which is you know, everyone has their own little way of explaining things, and I'm one of them people that takes something to click in me for me to understand something. So it's good to have different people helping out. And yeah, I work at a gym called Heroes Gym. That's in Kings Lynn, and that's where I originally started boxing. But yeah, since I've been pro, I'm over in Norwich 5-6 days a week, so it's great.
And is there anyone else that gives you any advice or any extra training or help?
Yeah, I've obviously, I don't train as much with my old coaches now, but Mel Payne, Rooster, Taz, Paul Faulkner, they're like my OGs, my OG trainers, and they'll always help me out and give me advice and support me. But they're obviously back at the gym that I work at. I don't really train with them because obviously I'm always in Norwich. We've got Francis Ampufu. He trains comes down Norwich gym and helps us and gives us advice, and as with everyone else in the gym really. So yeah, I've got a lot of people around me. I'm very lucky.
So you're 2-0. So
Yep.
Can you tell me a bit more about your two pro fights?
Yeah, so first fight. The first fight was, the lead up to it was very stressful. Obviously, I had to get my medical brain scan to get my license. I had to get sponsors first to get the money for it. Everyone assumes you sign a pro contract and you're rich. It costs more than you make. So I got like some sponsors to help me. Then obviously I had to get all my kit sorted. Then I'm panicking because you have to get all your sponsors' logos on. You want to advertise them all, but some of them obviously chip in a little bit of money and it ends up costing more than they've given because it costs more to get more logos. So it was a big whirlwind of stress. Like my manager, bless him, we had to go back and forth for the boxing ball. We had a few hiccups, but we got there in the end. And obviously the ticket sales, I've done a lot of white collar fights before. Okay. So I'm used to selling tickets. I've got a lot of support. I'm very, very lucky. So as stressful as it is, obviously it's not even about the money. You want people there supporting you. So I know what people are like last minute. They want to buy tickets. So the week before the fight was stressful. But do you know what? When I first got my name on BoxRec, that was one of them moments where I had a little cry of happiness, like my name's finally on BoxRec. And I had a little look through all the women roundabout lightweight, super feather. I didn't know what weight I was fighting in. And I looked through, and I'm not even just saying it, this name, Bojana Libwenska, it stuck out, and I looked at her and I felt like I'd seen her before. Like I dreamt of her or something. She just stood out, and I just had this feeling. And however long later it was, the manager sent me a picture, and this is who you got. I was like, it's fucking her. I just had a feeling. I thought it's meant to be. So yeah, I had this opponent, Bojana, and I can remember driving down there to the venue. crying, like happy, excited, nervous, hungry. But when I got there, obviously I'm in the change room with all the lads that I've been training with, so it was surreal really, because I've obviously dreamt of this day. Everyone says you only get one debut, you know, you remember it forever. And I'm in the change room with all the lads, pinching myself like, this is fucking real. But I can remember walking out, and I have my own tune what my friend made me. It's like a remix. It's got my name in it. It's cool. But like all my fucking hell, there was loads of them. It was great. When walking out, all my mates were there. My music was on. After the first round, her nose was busted, so I was like, yes! I was buzzing. But like, to be fair, it was my first experience of getting hit in 8-ounce clubs, and you know about it. It's a big difference from obviously previous fights and sparring. So, but I'd say I won that fight quite comfortably, to be honest. Although she was bloody game and tough, 100% she was. But yeah, I won the fight. All my mates afterwards all had hotels booked to get drunk. I was like, nope, I'm going home eating. I drove home, stopped at a garage, sandwiches, crisps, chocolate, sweets. I had to pull over once, if not even twice, to be sick on the way home, literally, because I ate that much. And I got home, got on my settee with my food around me, looking at my messages, just buzzing. And then I had a few days off the gym after, which I'll never do again, because literally I went from being up here, buzzing from winning my first ever professional fight, to sad, down, miserable. But I think everyone gets like that after a fight, apparently. I think there's so much going on. Yeah. And then it's sort of, and then it's over, innit, in a way. So, but it was one of the best nights of my life. So it was amazing. And the second fight, we were told, I watched my friend Connor fight at York Hall, yeah, and I watched this girl get knocked clean out. And my manager rang me when we were sorting out the second show, and he said, you know that girl you watched knock that girl clean out at Southpaw? I was like, yeah. He went, you're fighting her? I was like, fucking hell. It wasn't the fact she knocked her out, it was the fact she's a Southpaw. I fucking hate him, not what to do. I'm like, no. And he said, you got to get out of this fear of Southpaws. What if you have a title fight one day and they're Southpaw? Do you know what I mean? So 5, 6, we had it confirmed, and I trained for this Southpaw. And it got to the point where I thought, do you know what? I'm fucking ready for a Southpaw. I'm glad it's a Southpaw. It's a new challenge. I'm going to do it. And then the week before the fight, I got called in the office / kitchen at the gym, John and Graham, and they were like, your fight's pulled out. And I'm like, literally about to cry. And they're like, but, we've got someone else. But they said, obviously being a woman, there's not as many. And last minute, it's going to be hard to find someone. But they got this Gabriella Mezai. And they said that she wouldn't be who they would want me for my second fight. She had over 40 fights. She just beat someone 6-0 in a home show. And they were like, if you fight her, you've literally got to bite down your fucking gum shield and just go for it. And they could have said anyone's name. I'd have said yes. So I literally said, I'm ready to fight, put my heart and soul into it. Sold 130 tickets. I had a lot of people come in. I was like, I'm doing it. So, yeah, we got that confirmed. And the second fight weren't as stressful leading up because all my medical was in place. I had all my kit and everything. Do you know what I mean? So the only mistake I made was the night before the fight. I've got a little boy, he's 5, yeah. I sat with him watching a Disney film. And the Disney film was about these this boy's family die, yeah. It's not even funny, I know I'm laughing. His family died and they go to this underworld, yeah. And they say, as long as you talk about them and have photos up, they live on forever. But when the photos go down, you forget them, they disappear. And I start howling. I think it's the emotions and nerves and the hunger, crying. I've lost my parents when I was young, you see, and my little boy's like, you miss your mummy and daddy? I'm like, yeah. Like, I tell him everything, bless him, do you know what I mean? He's very grown up for his age, he's sensitive like me. But he's cuddling me and I'm crying. And then in the morning, my eyes are puffy, my nose is blocked. And I'm driving him to school and he's gone to me, don't worry, mummy, I'll get your mummy and daddy back. So I burst out crying again, like dropped him off at school. And normally before a fight, I get my eyebrows waxed and tinted, yeah, like a couple of days before because they're in your face, didn't they? But this day, I've dropped them off at school, wiped my face, I've gone and got my eyebrows done, and I'm driving to the venue, same venue again, and I'm getting nervous, I get down and I'm crying, my eyes are puffy, and I get there, and as soon as I walked in, all the lads were like, what the fuck is that on your face? Because my eyebrows were like this. And straight away, all the sadness went, and I just got back into being me, do you know what I mean? And Michael Walsh fought on that show as well. So I just couldn't believe that I was fighting with all my mates that I train with, and Michael Walsh was headlining it. So yeah, again, in the change room with all the lads, and you got Graham and John, Darren and that. I get very nervous, but I think most people do, don't they? But before I walk out, I'm not even afraid to admit it. I start thinking, what the fuck am I doing? I can't do it. And as soon as the bell goes, you're just like, yeah. But yeah, this Gabriella Mezai, fucking hell. This fight was never experienced nothing like it in my life. And I ain't embarrassed to say she did hurt me. She did hurt me, but I done what my manager said I'd have to do, bit down on my gum shield and fucking fought, and I beat her. So I fucking done it. But I've never been worried in a fight before about actually getting hurt or knocked out. The only thing I've ever worried about is like, oh, I don't want to lose and let everyone down. But like I said, these 8-ounce gloves getting hit by experienced boxers, you fucking know about it. And after the second round, I remember thinking, I could get knocked out here. I could end up laying on that floor in front of everyone. There's so much goes through your head when you fight. But like I say, I got through it, beat it. It was a very close fight. But to beat someone like her for my second fight, it's done good for my confidence. You know what I mean? Like, that's a big achievement. So, but after that fight, I wasn't really in a state to drive home. Like, I got checked over by a doctor and everything, and obviously they wouldn't let me go if I wasn't all right. But I didn't feel right to drive. So my friends who were staying over, I asked one of them, Tori, if I could stay in a hotel with her. And bless her, she gave up going out drinking, took me to get a pizza, went back to the hotel, and I was like, will you cuddle me till I go to sleep? Because I thought I wasn't going to wake up. I was that much pain. But obviously I did wake up. And then I went to Greg, spent about 20 quid on food, made myself sick again. Standard after a fight. Fuck the alcohol, sorry for swearing. I'd much rather. But yeah, so I'd say, do you know what, you'd expect your first fight and your second fight to be like, you know, not easy, but you know how it is, they get a pick fight. But fucking hell, these two birds, they come to fight and they were tough fights, and everyone said it like, is that one of their favourite fights? They said it was brilliant. So yeah, I'm proud of it, and but it's a big eye opener for me. Like, you know, you've got to really, it's not a game anymore, you've got to fucking, you know, what's the word, dig deep. 2 words. But sorry, I'll shut up now. I've rambled on loads. You only asked the question.
It's great. It's great. But yeah, no, obviously she looks great then on your record for your second fight.
Yeah. She fought someone the other week on Eurosport. This girl she fought was like a woman, I should say, 4-0, favourite to win, and she beat her. So I felt like double hard. Then I thought, yes, the one that I beat her. So I was well chuffed about that. That sounds horrible. I shouldn't say that, because obviously the other one was she British or Irish? You know, she was the favourite, but without sounding horrible, because the girl I beat her, I thought, oh, I must be all right. Do you know what I mean? If I beat her, so yeah.
I'm sure lots of people think that they want the piece. Yeah, it makes their look even better then, doesn't it? So.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit of confidence.
So, what are your future plans? Because obviously the pandemic's obviously put a bit of a spanner in the works, and so what's your plans now going into 2021?
Obviously with this all going on, I can't see a fight date anywhere near, because obviously I'm on the small hall show. Do you know what, people diss the small hall shows yet? But I tell you what, fucking, you get the people you train with day in day out become like your family. So when you're on these small hall shows, they call it, we get to fight with our teammates in front of all our home crowds. Do you know what I mean? You got to make the most of them moments, haven't you? Because hopefully our time will come to get on the big shows, you know what I mean? But at the moment, I think I am tied to the small hall shows, and I can't see them happening anytime soon. There's been some days where I thought, oh, I just want to fight. But then there's been so I laugh because I sound like my mate then. Then I think, do you know what? I need this time to learn. I haven't got a massive amateur background like a lot of these girls. And this year I have learned I'm a different fighter than what I was in February. So the longer I don't fight, the more I'm going to learn. Do you know what I mean? So, but I'm hoping, women get opportunities quick now, like 4 or 5 fights to get to fight for a title. So I'm hoping we can get a couple more fights next year, and then, hopefully I'll get a good opportunity. But, there's people way out of my league, obviously, but manager ain't going to chuck me in with them yet. By the time I'm put in with someone out of my league, they'll be out. Hopefully I'll be out of their league. Does that make sense? But I just got to take each fight as it comes, haven't I? But I am very, very eager, and I'm excited to hopefully get her fight soon. But like I say, this pandemic's all over the place, isn't it?
You're in quite a hot division as well. There's a lot.
Oh my God, can you hear me? My hand's been on the speaker. I just felt a vibrate. Can you hear me?
Yeah, no, I can hear you.
Oh good, I thought, fuck, I can't say all that again.
No, I can hear you.
By the way, I keep throwing, but I say please and thank you more than anyone on the planet. I'm not rude. I just have a potty mouth. My aunt and uncle brought me up and they just shit but all the time. Sorry about that. Tourette's, maybe. I might even have Tourette's. Actually, can you box with that? I haven't got Tourette's. If anyone's listening, I haven't got that. I'm not ill. Sorry, carry on.
I was going to say you're in a hot division. Like there's so many.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Do you know what? I didn't know what weight I'd fight at. My manager ain't one of them people like, you must make this weight. He's like, you see where you're at. As long as you're comfortable, no fucking, starving yourself. But I think my first fight was lightweight. I was a bit under, and it's on the day as well. Second one, super feather. I made the weight easy, and it was on the day, so I should think. I mean, I don't want to do manager's job, but if I was to fight for titles, at least featherweight, the lightest. But there's loads floating about now, isn't there? I mean, I think I'm a bit of a loser. I do check box rec regular. Like I say, I follow my little golf time goals tip being on there. I'm ranked like 44 in the world already. I've only had 2 fights, so it's mental, isn't it, really? I mean, there's a lot of women, but compared to men, there isn't, is there?
Yeah. So. No, but yeah, but still, it's a big achievement.
Like 4th in the country. 4th in the country out of how many? 8, but still.
Exactly.
Not the point.
So talking about, because we've obviously mentioned about the pandemic, how's that kept you motivated? Is it the fact that you've already mentioned you're learning loads? Is that what's keeping you going until your next fight?
Yeah, and as well, my manager, obviously credit to my old coaches, you know, all the time they spent me over the years, but my manager, I feel like taking me on, he never had a woman, he weren't that keen on women's boxing either, to be honest. He admitted that, and he's given me a chance, and I thought, you know what, I want to, out of everyone in the world, I want to make him proud now. And I just thought, having time off, I'm not going to get any better. I need to prove to him that I'm 100% committed. I always said if I went pro, I didn't do it if I was 100% committed. Do you know what I mean? I waited till my boy started school. I left my office job I was in for 7 years. I started working in a gym, so that's training as well. Do you know what I mean? And I just wanted to prove to him that, you know, I want to give it my all. So even when we were in the proper lockdown, he'd text me every day, he'd ring me, would have banter videos and stuff, and you know, I'd make sure I'd done my YouTube workouts. I got a bag in my garden. I couldn't leave my boy, so I'd sprint up and down the side of the house. Like, I made all the effort. When the gym was back open, I was straight back over there. The motivation is, for me, it's just been wanting to, you know, him and all the team. I just want to prove to them I'm taking it I'm taking it serious. Do you know what I mean? As I say, he was great, bless him. He ringing me every day. I live on me. I got my little boy, but I haven't really got any family, so having him ring me every day, it was lovely. I do appreciate it. He knows that. And he's funny. He's a serious man, but he's funny. We have a laugh. We have good banter.
That's nice, because it's I'm getting the impression from you it's like a real big family in your gym. Oh,
it is. I'm lucky. I'm part of 2 families. Like I'm gonna say, the gym I started off in when I was like 15, 16. I mean, we've moved location, but it's the same bunch of people. I work there, so I'm still around all them. And then I've got Graham and his team. I've known Graham for 8 or 9 years anyway, so I wasn't really that shy going into the gym last year or a year and a half ago. But obviously the stablemates we've got, you're with them every day. You don't spend that much time with even family, I would have thought. So you do just become like a family, don't you? And anyone you meet in the boxing world, you sort of get that connection with, because you're all in the same sort of mindset, aren't you? And that's what I needed in my life. That is what I needed. The main reason why I started boxing. Get that, you know, being needed and the purpose. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, definitely.
So in talking about, you know, just boxing in general, you're saying how you look up, you know, you've got all these people, your big family, and you've got lots of people you look up to. Is there any particular boxers that are your inspirations?
Yeah, to be fair, I always say this, the Walsh brothers. You got Ryan, Liam and Michael. I've known of them for years. They're a big name in boxing, and I've looked up to them, and obviously now I'm lucky enough to train alongside them, and you know what, I've become close to them and their family, their wives, their children. They've all literally welcomed me and my son like as part of their family. And it's not just the boxing, they're so dedicated, they're talented, they're clever. It's not just the boxing, it's literally them in general as well, them and their family. They're such kind, amazing people. They always give me advice. I always stay a bit extra and watch them, and I just think they're inspirations to most boxers, let alone I'm so lucky to, like I say, be friends with them and their family, and I get to train with them. And yeah, the Walshes. I always say the Walshes. I've been a big fan. Now I'm like their best friends. Well, I'd like to think so. Now I'm very close friends to them, and I think they're fucking amazing boxers. So I always say the Walshes over anyone. Definitely big inspirations.
And in terms of, because you say how boxing's your life really, because you're doing a lot of work in the gym as well as actually doing your training. But what about passions outside of boxing? Have you got anything you like to do outside?
I've been asked this year, I can't even think of it. My life is boxing, housework. Boxing, housework. Boxing, housework. It really is. I'm over Norwich 5 to 6 days a week. I'm at the gym I work at 4, 5 days a week, like overlap. So, and obviously I've got a little boy at home. I play on the PlayStation with him sometimes, but I haven't got any passions other than boxing. I think that's a good thing though. You've got to be completely focused on it, haven't you? But I'd be lying if I've made something up. I don't do anything else. That literally is just boxing, which I love. So
it takes up a lot of your time.
I didn't even say that. I shouldn't have laughed. I didn't know what you said. Say again, sorry.
I was going to say, having a son, that takes up all your time.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Keeps you
I'm
busy.
lucky. Well, I say lucky. He goes to his dad's every weekend, Friday and Sunday. So I'll train Fridays, work Friday nights. I work all day Saturdays, then I train Sunday and work Sunday evening. So and obviously in the week he's at school. I drop him off at school, drive to the gym. It's about an hour's drive to Norwich where I train at. Train there a couple of hours, have a shower, have some food, drive back, go to the other gym, have a run. Then I pick him up from school, have evening with him, and that's just like that all week. Don't stop. But do you know what I mean? Having these dreams within boxing, my main dream was to go pro. So I'm living my dream now. Every day I'm in the gym training with these people that I used to sit there and look at like, ooh, with them. It's like a dream. Do you know what I mean? So I'm very lucky. I think, you know, I'm one of them people every day. I think to myself all the things I'm lucky for. I'm very positive in that sense. So yeah.
And going on from that, because you're saying how you do, you work in the gym, and you train young girls, and they must look up to you.
Oh, mate, do you know what? It must have been, a year and a half ago, maybe a couple of years ago. I get random messages of people saying, oh, my daughter would love to try boxing with you. And could you think you could train my daughter? And loads of them. And I said to my friend, I was like, I ain't got time. So why don't you do a class? I thought, that's a good idea. So anyway, I advertised doing a girls boxing class. I thought I'd do it girls only because a lot of girls ain't confident around boys or men. Do you know what I mean? And I made sure it clear it was a fitness class. I thought I'm not being responsible for them hitting each other. Just pads, bag, games. Anyway, I started it. The second week I had 36 girls turn up.
Wow.
And it was like, so I split the groups and done a couple, and the bond you get with them, like I've had my coaches growing up, they're not just my coaches, they're like my agony aunts, my counsellors, my father figure, my brother. They're everything all in one. Everything you need is in a coach, you know what I mean? And I've just got a bond with these girls. I've got the little ones, they can't wait to tell me what I've done at school. I've got the older ones, like I shouldn't admit this yet, but I've done a child safeguarding course. I break all the rules. I give them all hugs, kiss on the cheeks, they message me on Instagram, I message them back. You're not meant to do any of that, but I know most of their parents anyway. And the bond, they're like my little best friends. I don't really have a social life out of boxing. Like I say, I work all weekends in the gym. I train. I don't go out with my friends. I'm at home. But rather than going home on my own on Saturday night thinking, oh, I'm on my own, I'm miserable, I'm lonely, I think, do you know what? I've made 30, 40 faces smiles there, and everyone made me smile. And they do look up to me. They get so excited to tell me things. And some of the older ones come to my fight and they wear the T-shirts. And it's like they're excited to tell their friends they know me. How amazing is that, having people that are excited just to know you? And they're all, I get a message. I'm sorry. I'm talking that much. I get messages off their parents message me saying, oh, their confidence has grown or they're losing weight and they love you. And I think if they realise, I'd probably love them even more. Do you know what I mean? Like, they've changed my life. I know I've got a son, but I feel even more needed now and more people to want to make proud. Do you know what I mean? And I tell them all, none of you are trained. Some of them are bloody good, but I say none of you are training to be bullies. You're not going around fighting. I said, use a bit of confidence, stick up for yourself. And if you see anyone getting bullied, you stick up for them. That's what I try and teach them all. We're all very close. I'm a DJ as well, so I play my mixing up drum and bass in the background. And we all dance around. I do a ladies boxing class as well. Not a hard one, just some people, they're a bit conscious going in a gym or around men. So I make it fun. I dance around like a loon while they're hitting the bags and that. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then I do work on general shift in the gym as well, like on the count in, like the gym bit. Do you know what I mean? But you get like the regular what's the word? Members come in on a Saturday, and that's, again, it's like a social really. I'm getting to interact with people and in that environment too. So it's a dream job really. I worked in an office, sat on my ass for 7 years straight. Do you know what I mean? Going to work in a gym, running around all day is perfect. Especially, like I say, going professional, I'll be 100% committed. I've got to work still, I've got bills to pay, but I'm working in a gym. So it's perfect, isn't it, really? I'm very lucky. And I'll stop now.
You mentioned about DJing. So you're a bass DJ, is that right?
Yeah. I haven't done it for a while now. Again, it was one of them things, years ago. I'd go to, I've been to a couple of festivals and DJ, not like in a club, it's like drum and bass in that. And the feeling I'd get on the deck, I'd think, oh, I love this so much. Then I have a fight and I'd be like, nah, this is better. And I thought, I can't really do both. I've got to commit to the boxing. But, if a night comes up and I get asked to play or whatever, again, it's a way of socialising with friends without having to bloody get on. I don't drink or smoke or anything like that. Whereas when I'm DJing, I'm around them people and I'm just like, you know what I mean? Like, just buzzing off life. I like to be around people. I spent a lot of years on my own, very, very lonely. At one point, all I wanted was friends, and now I feel like I'm just so overwhelmed with them. Do you know what I mean? So, again, I look back and think how lucky I am where I am now. But yeah, the DJing is just, in lockdown, I've done a couple of live mixes in the living room. I had about 2,000 people watching at one point. I had my Toy Story pyjamas on, mixing in the living room. But I thought, if it makes people smile, it's worth it, innit? Do you know what I mean? No, so I had my little boy asking me, I'm at Lollies. I'm like, Morgan, I'll give you a tenner if you be quiet. Then in the end, I got a mummy dancing. I thought, I'll bugger it.
you've talked about your life and how things have changed, and how, you know, how you're happy where you are now. What advice would you give your younger self now, knowing what you know now?
I was thinking the one thing was probably good to say would be nothing's permanent. I spent, like, again, a lot of years sad, miserable, down, you know, worrying about the past, worrying about the future, but nothing's permanent. Before you know it, something else has happened. Every time something bad's happened, something good's come out of it. But when you're in them bad times, you can't. It's hard to see the good that's going to come, isn't it? But it always does. You know what I mean? It always turns around. So, you know, so I spent a lot of time in the past just being sad and upset and lonely and miserable and depressed. And I think that you should be thinking positive. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm definitely more positive now I'm older. But like I said, I've got a lot of good things on in my life. But I've just put my mind to things, and I'm lucky that it's gone ahead. I've just been persistent. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I think that you can't say you regret things rarely, because obviously it makes you who you are now. Do you know what I mean? So maybe just not worry so much. And yeah, nothing's permanent, because it's not, is it? It's like the good times as well. You've got to make the most of them, because you know how long it's going to last, do you?
That's
so
true.
Yeah, that'll do.
And I was going to ask you if there's any shout outs, if there's anybody you want to shout out. Or...
Yeah. So first of all, dedicated care. Lisa and Tori, they're two of the most amazing women I've ever met in my life. Very good friends. They're my boxing lady, and they sponsor me, and they've stuck by me all through lockdown. If it wasn't for them, I would not be able to afford to drive to the gym. Like I say, it's now there and back every 5-6 days a week. They've supported me and made it possible for me to do that journey, and I'm forever grateful. And then I've got the Round Table. Now, they have helped me pay for my medical brain scan. I'd have been buggered without them. So very grateful to the Round Table. I'm not sure what that consists of, but they're called the Round Table. That'll do. And then Arbonne, right? So Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Sarah and Adam Smith, these two couple that I know, so kind, and they work for a brand called Arbonne. Now they sort me all my nutrition out, protein, herbal teas, the lot, and it's fucking good stuff. I ain't just saying it. You look up Arbonne, it's not like the other stuff you get on the shelves. There's a reason something costs a little bit more, and that's the quality of it, and it's amazing. And they sponsor it for me, and I'm so grateful. And literally, when I started lockdown, I went without it for a little while, and you can tell the difference. It makes me feel so more energized and healthy. I'm not a fan of veg, you know what I mean? But I'm not going to go into all that now. But yeah, oh no, my battery's going low. Am I still there? Are you still there? Yeah. So, and then finally, a shout out to David Allen, aka the White Rhino. He gave me a shout out last week on Eurosport, yeah, and I'm not embarrassed to say I told him. I actually cried a little bit. I was so happy. Like, I really appreciate things like that. He is someone that a lot of people look up to, and we've become very, very close friends. Someone I can talk to about anything, and I appreciate him a lot. So yeah, David Allen.
Nice. I think I saw
one more thing. Sorry, I've got to say this. My friend Lucy, my running partner, said if I said her name, she'd make me brownies for Christmas. So hi, Lucy Siemens, if you're watching this.
Oh,
oh, shut up now.
I was going to say, I saw on social media where with Dave, where he got Savannah Marshall.
Oh, how amazing is that? Do you know what he said to me? He went, oh, it's a shame you're not going to be down Thursday. Savannah Marshall's coming. I was like, what? And I texted him that morning. I was like, David, do you think you could think of a really smart reason to FaceTime me later? And I can be like, oh, hi, Savannah Marshall. Didn't know you were there. Anyway, I was out for a jog. I've been to the gym. I'm out for a jog. My phone FaceTime with David, and he's like, here, and passed over to Savannah. I was like, woo! I wouldn't like a proper like, oh, but she's in a league of her own boxing wise. I've watched her for years. She's amazing, and you can tell she's a lovely person just from, you know, watching interviews and stuff. But to actually get to speak to her, I was like, come back, Dave, get in the camera, let's have a screenshot for the memories. What a buzz. Yeah, what a lovely woman. And he's a fucking wicked bloke as well.
Oh, well, lovely speaking to you.
You.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please click like now and subscribe. You can also follow me on Twitter and on Instagram. Thank you. Bye.